finally, President Ahtisaari, which do you enjoy better, being the President of Finland or running CMI? What's a more enjoyable experience?
It's not a question of being enjoyable. That would be too easy. But I very often, when I look at my years since 2000, the mere fact that had I stayed as a president, I don't think I would have ever got the Nobel Peace Prize. It freed me to do things I had done. Of course, I was participating with Stroke Talbot and Mr. Chernomyrd in ending the NATO bombing of Kosovo and Serbia while I was still president. But I wanted to go back and do what I had done before I became a president. I very often say honestly to people that I don't regard myself as a politician. I'm a civil servant. I'm a professional like you. I'm very proud of what I do, and I'm very proud of my colleagues' professionalism. And I like to work with them. And then internationally as well, I have nowadays a network which my colleagues, young colleagues, have inherited from me. We travel together, and I see how they are much faster getting into this business. So I like what I'm doing now tremendously, and I don't know how long. If you look at the picture over there, that's the elders which President Mandela has group gathered together. We are chaired by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and he is 80 now. And some of my colleagues in the elders group are even older than he is. So I do it as long as I can. And then there's a sense of responsibility as well, because I have got so much in my life that I became, when I was very young, eternally displaced person after the war, when I had to move from Karelia to when we lost that part to Soviet Union when they attacked my country. And so I feel that I have a responsibility to do what I can do with the help of my able colleagues to help the world, and that suits me very fine.
Is that the legacy that you'd like to leave, that you have at least contributed to creating peace in the world? And not alone, because I always say that the one person can't do it. And I'm very choosy. I choose my colleagues very carefully if we go to the actual negotiation process, because I always say that I have to get even better people than I am. They have to know certain speciality area, like in the Balkans. Some of them knew the Balkans much better than I did, and we worked together in a team, and that is important, that you don't think that you know everything. Now, since CMI was created, do you see the world becoming more and more peaceful, or are there actually...
There are less conflicts.
Less conflicts in general.
And they are, but they are... The nature of conflict has changed. They are more internal in countries, less than between states. But they are getting much more complicated also at the same time.
With his long career and achievements behind him, there is no sign, however, that President Ahtisaari is content to sit back and enjoy his retirement years. The world still interests him, and there's still plenty of work for him to do. Certainly, he seems to have just as much passion and energy to contribute to the world as before.
But are you optimistic that at some point that everybody will?
No, I think we should be very tough and not allow frozen conflicts to continue forever. Because sometimes people have been telling me that, why are you in a hurry to solve this? That why we have so many frozen conflicts, that why we can have one more. I said, no, we can't, and you should never even talk like that. why do we have Cyprus? Why do we have Kashmir? Why we still haven't solved the Israel-Palestine issue? I think it's a disgrace for international community that we have not been able to get these things done. We should be much more firm with the governments and say, look, now get your act together and solve the problems.
What gets you down? What frustrates you?
Nothing. No, it's true. You should ask my young colleagues that whether I'm ever frustrated, because I have lived a very happy life, even as a young, even if we became internal refugees in my country. I had a very loving childhood. I'm happily married. I have a good relationship with my son and his wife. I have good friends. I was enjoying excellent Russian ballet performance of Anna Karenina last night. I'm chairman of the board of governors of Finnish Opera. I have friends from music life, and so I don't know what else could I ask.
Are you not haunted by your memories of the past when you were a displaced person?
No, I lived it through my older generation, my parents' generation, because for them it was very hard. They had to resettle and resettle in many places before they found their place in rest of Finland. It was much easier in my family because my father was in the military, in the technical side of military. So we always moved from one military garrison to another, where from east, first to eastern Finland, then to north, near Swedish border to Oulu, which I regard as my hometown now, because I can't say that Viipuri, where I was born, is now part of Russia. But I have seen through my tribe, I call it my own tribe, my family, how hard it was for them. And therefore I can identify with people who have to go through similar or even more complicated situations in life.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your stories with me.
Thank you for being in Finland.
And looking forward to see you in Jakarta playing golf.
I'm looking forward to our next discussion.
Yes, and it's been a great pleasure and honor for me to meet you. I mean, your name in Indonesia is forever etched in our history. So again, thank you very much.
I'm very proud that I was given a chance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Despite his advancing years and the amount of experience behind him, I feel that President Ahtisaari continues to display the same amount of enthusiasm and passion that it keeps him true to his calling, that is to continue to contribute to the world through promoting global peace through the hard process of negotiation and mediation without once losing his faith or optimism. And that's all for this episode. Don't forget to join me next month where we meet another figure who makes a difference to our lives here on Face to Face with Daisy Anwar, bringing you the world.